The match officials for this afternoon's JJB Sports International are referee Monsieur Jean-Louis Haribo from France and touch judges Mr. Dave Davies of Castleford with the yellow flag and Mr. Ken Spencer of Middlewich with the red flag. The teams, by the way, are on page 43 of your match day programme. There's one change in the junior Kiwi lineup. At number 17 we now have Danny Lima, and in the Great Britain Academy the substitutes are as follows: 14 Chris Smith of Warrington, 15 Simon Horton of Wigan, 16 John Lawless of Halifax, and 17 Michael Wainwright of Warrington.
Back up, back up.
Hold it. Lewis Pierce! You're over here!
Paul, the junior Kiwi, full back and skipper to kick off, and a comfortable lead for the Kiwis. 18 points to 8 already. Tries by Noval, Swan, Fatialofa, 3 goals by Paul himself, 2 tries from Roper and Martin. But Great Britain youngsters, the academy side, drawn from many young professionals in the first and second divisions, fighting back. Good, strong driving run there. Nathan Sykes from Castleford, the acting half-back. Rowley from Lee, getting the ball moving down that side. Farrell, we've seen him many times with the Wigan and Great Britain sides. McAtee, not the best of kicks, well picked up by Corner. John, more than a passing interest in this game for you. You've signed 8 of these lads as the Auckland Warriors.
Yeah, we've got plenty of good new players here, and it's good to see them out here at Wembley. It's certainly a great opportunity for them to play in the best stage in the world, Wembley Stadium.
Certainly rising to it. Maliator Brown there, number 4. And good driving run again from this man, David Fatialofa, the nephew of the Western Samoa Rugby Union captain, Peter. Swan. Good movement between the half-backs there. Brown again, tricky customer, this lad from Papakura. The Kiwis playing this ball down the blind side quite often. Kelemeti. Paul, chip kick. Oh, he's got the bounce and he's got the try. A simple try there for Henry Paul, the captain. What a game he's having. 3 goals in the first half. A try within minutes of the resumption for the second. And this student from the Te Atatu club, he'll remember this day at Wembley for a long time to come. Simple try, John, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 6 tackle. He's looking here for an option on the 6, puts a little kick through and picks the ball up. Very versatile player too. I'm looking forward to coaching him in 1995. He's a good boy. He's very much in the Philip Clark mould. A good smart kid and a good player.
And we can see, John, here there's no sweeper, is there, or full back. In fact, the last line of resistance is second row Adrian Flynn coming across there. There's too much room altogether. The full back expecting a much deeper kick.
Yeah, the full back was too deep, wasn't he? The referee was in the best position out of the whole English side.
So, Billy Wepu, another student, the Wainumata club. To 8, the Kiwis, and this should be a simple conversion for Wepu. It is, no problems at all. So the junior Kiwis really giving Great Britain something to think about here at Wembley. 43 minutes gone.
If you're going to have your first kick at Wembley, I think that's a good place to have it, isn't it? They've just changed kickers there, and Billy Wepu had no trouble. Great little kick there from Henry Paul.
So, Great Britain with plenty to do. These junior Kiwis, very powerful side on this 9-match tour. They've won all 6 matches to date, including Lancashire and Yorkshire. Heavy thrashings of Wallington, 42-6, Hull 72-2. And certainly made the Rugby League world sit up.
It's no good, is it, Ray, if you win all those games, though, and you can't come up with the goods in the test match. The test matches is really what it's all about, and that's why they've come here today, and they certainly look like a good side today, and all those wins that they've had have been warranted.
And these 2 prop forwards there, number 8, Wepu, and the number 10, Fatialofa, causing a lot of damage up front. Great Britain lighter in the pack, having trouble. The Kiwis then marching forward. Kelameti. Good tackle. Swan. Drop kick. Not a good one. Tap on the 20-metre line. William Swan, another student from the Marist Club. Great Britain bunching a little in midfield. I think they would be more advised to move this ball around. Paul Stevens from Wigan. Hint of a knock-on, more than a hint. Great Britain, John, look to be bunching in midfield. They're not throwing that ball around as they had that good spell in the first half.
Yeah, that was a real sign of tiredness there, that play. They were bunched from the 22 tap, and then Paul Stevens from Wigan just tried to push a ball out at the end. It wasn't any good, and you know, they had very poor formation on the play as well.
New Zealand, in contrast, moving this ball around. Henry Paul again. Good tackle there by Scott Martin from Lee. Johnson. Perfect conditions underfoot there. Strong frost overnight. White coating this morning, but apart just from underneath the main stand here from our commentary position, the shadow. Perfect conditions. Stealing the ball, I think. Penalty against Graham Holroyd, number 6 for Great Britain. Stealing the ball. And this Leeds half-back. He looks concerned, but...
yeah, Peter Lima here getting up to play the ball quickly. Could have been a penalty there for pulling the legs out.
Yeah. Yes, I think it was, John. Interference at the play of the ball. And we can see an indication there of the difference in discipline between the two sides. The Kiwis only conceded 3 penalties. Wepu taking the kicks now, but Henry Paul was successful in the first half with 3 kicks.
It's an unusual decision to change the kickers after the guys had that much success. He kicked the ball very well in the first half, and the change over at half time, maybe he's got a slight knock or carrying some sort of a leg strain, but Billy Weepu's not a bad kicker either.
So Wepu, the student, just 21 metres out. Slippy underfoot. Oh, hits the upright. Well taken. Well taken there by Flynn and Wakefield Trinity. Couple of quick substitution changes. Great Britain taking off Hilton, Mark Hilton and Schultz in the pack. There we see John hit the upright. And Simon Horton and Michael Wainwright coming on. Now then, Great Britain desperate to get back in here. They've got to move this ball. They've got to give these wings a run. The 5th tackle. Holroyd again. Elects to run. Oh, there's a chance there, but there's nobody about. 2 or 3 Kiwis covering. I think that was the difference, John, wasn't it? There were 3 or 4 Kiwis there back in defence.
Yeah, they were prepared to run when they didn't have the ball, and that was one of the differences. And Simon Horton, who's come on, he's also a Wigan player, and he's a player it's a timely substitution because he can score a try, Simon Horton, and he's a player that can get across the line.
Certainly, Great Britain need a try at the moment, trailing 24 points to 8. Good pass. Well taken too by Dean Johnson. Kiwis moving this ball around, still keeping it going. Oh, on the outside here, Maliator Brown. Good tackle, good cover tackle there from Sykes for Great Britain. But still New Zealand pressing forward. Good move there between the halves. Noah and Swan. Henare. And the 6th tackle. The handover. Well, it's ambitious play. Go! Beautiful run! Superb effort there now. Can he go all the way? I think he can. Yes, Dean Harris from Warrington. Magnificent try! this lad who was drafted into the senior Wales squad for the game against New Zealand, well, showing a touch of class there. He took matters into his own hands, 65 yards, had the sidestep, had the pace and the confidence to go all the way. Superb try from Harris, normally a centre, but he showed a winged pace there.
Yeah, there's nothing on here, and he just kicks. Good step off his right foot, kicked inside Willie Swan, the halfback. Everybody was found out. Very, very poor positional play from the fullback, but it was the first tackle after a handover, and the fullback, Henry Paul, was just caught out on the wrong side of the park.
I don't think anyone was expecting this, John, were they? I think they were expecting him just to drive forward.
Yeah, well, it often happens on the first play. There was a handover there, and he certainly did everything he had to, didn't he? When he got in the clear, he just pinned his ears back and went for the line.
He did. Normally a centre, but showing a wingman's pace. And Andrew Farrell, the captain, of course, was with Wigan here at Wembley in May, the youngest ever Challenge Cup final winner at 17 years of age. Looking for 2 points. Left-footed, no, just to the right of the upright there, but at least inching closer. 24 points to 12 in New Zealand's favour. The stadium filling up now to watch these juniors, the future of both codes. Good sidestep from Harris, and then Johnny's got the pace, hasn't he?
He certainly did have, and like I said, there was nobody back there. The fullback was caught badly out of position, and at least he did push him across in the corner and made a difficult goal kick.
McAtee. Substitute, Michael Wainwright, number 17. To Martin. I get the feeling that if only Great Britain would put their trust into these backs and move the ball around, then they might do something.
Yeah, they're certainly not going to beat the junior Kiwi side down the middle. There's too much size, too much height, too much weight in the pack, and they do need to move the ball around, take a few chances, and give some of these backs a run at them.
McAtee, the dummy. That's a good switch on the blind side. Good run there again. Oh, yes. Now then, this is just what we were saying from about Great Britain. If they move that ball away, Lee Penny from Warrington coming in there. McAtee again, beginning to buzz at half-back. This little St Helens scrum half. But, well covered. So, New Zealand's turn to be under pressure.
This is where that weight advantage and the height advantage in the forwards just comes into play a little bit. And there's been quite a few silly penalties given away by the Great Britain side too, though. Their discipline hasn't been good, particularly when they get down in those good positions. They've, they just give up 30, 40 yards of easy ground.
We can see it here, John. Kicking, playing at the play of the ball. The rule is you can only kick at the ball when it hits the ground. And of course, as John said, relief, respite for the Kiwis. But this Kiwi side, no doubt about it, one of the great junior sides in the history of rugby league. They were the first side to beat the Australian high schools last year. The Australian schools went 58 matches, would you believe it, until these Kiwis beat them. So that's the size of the task that Great Britain are on. Oh, and again, good pass from Henry Paul there to Noval, but he loses it. Play on.
Very poor option taken here by the six. He's got in the clear. He just feels he's got to do something with the ball and ends up throwing it away. There was nothing on out there. Better to take the tackle and then attack again on the next play.
Rowley adapting half-back, making play there again for Flynn. Rowley again to Holroyd. Holroyd looking to get that ball wide. Well, I don't think I would have kicked it there. But at least a little adventure. Graham Holroyd actually partnered the Great Britain skipper Gary Schofield this season in a couple of matches, but I think he took the wrong option there, John.
Yeah, it's a little bit of inexperience. They're young players, and I mean they're learning the game, and they get into these sort of situations, they don't really know what to do, and a lot of the times they do take the wrong options, don't they? They're inexperienced players.
Scrum then. Kiwi head and ball. Good tackle there from Lee Penny, number 1, Great Britain. And a hard tackle too on Malia Tor-Brown. Henry Paul. Kiwi skipper, a softball champion too, way back in New Zealand. Good switch. Magana. Still the Kiwis using these big forwards there. Billy Wepu. 5th tackle. Novau himself, good left-hand kick, but I thought it was going to be well picked up, but no, the bounce. Still a little hard, that pitch, but this problems here for the centre, Gus Malia Tor-Brown, and the bounce of the ball there beating Iestyn Harris. All good run again by Harris. Looks a lively footballer, this lad, John.
Yeah, just shows you that if they do move the ball a little bit, get out on the edge of those rucks, they can do a little bit of damage. They've been skipping out of a few tackles out on the edges, and you know, they look okay when they get out there.
Look to have a little more pace out wide, John.
Yeah, there is a little bit more pace there, and string 2 or 3 passes together, something might give. They're still in this game, but you know, it's just very hard work when they try to go down the middle all the time.
Wainwright keeps the ball going, but again, more support needed, but Great Britain now on the attack. McAtee becoming prominent. Holroyd looks for the dummy. Good defence there by Patiolofa. High kick, McAtee. Harris is underneath it. Stevens is there. Oh, but so is... Well, no, Harris has it. To Stevens. Keeping it going. Wainwright. Oh, but another 6 tackles. Yes, the Henry Paul is not quite sure, but it's another 6 tackles according to the referee. Farrell, can he make that overlap? Can't get the ball away. Good cover tackle there by Novau. McAtee to Penny. Good sidestepping run by Penny. Very experienced player, this number 1. Regular with the Warrington Senior Club. McAtee to Flynn. The chip. Doesn't come off.
That was better play from the Great Britain side there. They moved the ball around, and they took a couple of chances. A little bit of luck there. They could have you know, they could have got the ball inside the in-goal area and had another 6 tackles. So it was good play. They need to keep them down here though, and not give away penalties like they've been doing.
Kiwis holding the ball. Henry Paul, a strong lad. He's played loose forward before for these junior Kiwis. Oh, that's a good strong run there from Vagana. Powerful player and good support from the backs. This is copybook rugby now. Out to the wingman here, Dean Johnson. He's got the outside. No, he hasn't. Good tackle there by Jonathan Roper. Kiwis looking to move it now. That's a good long pass there from Swan. By corner, the kick. Harris. He's certainly in the action, is this Welsh lad. Conditions ideal for rugby. The sun streaming down, just a nip Cold in the air, slight breeze. Farrell looking for the dummy. Nathan Sykes. Typical powerfully built Castleford forward. Rowley again from Lee. Like a ferret at the acting half-back position there. Holroyd. Good kick, got plenty of height. Paul's underneath it though, well taken. He read that kick well then, I think, John, the New Zealand full-back.
Yeah, he is a good player, Henry Paul. He very safe. He's played. I've seen him while we were watching him. I've watched him in New Zealand. He's played a lot of positions. He's played hooker, back row, 5'8". He's just played everywhere, all over the park, and he handles most positions with ease. So he's an outstanding prospect.
Enare. New Zealand can afford to just hold possession, leading 24 points to 12. Great Britain with everything to do. Great Britain have got to play the catch-up football. That's a good pass. Paul again, bringing his centres. Maliator Brown. Oh, good play, Noval. At the fifth tackle. Paul. That's a good kick. That's a good kick, but he's offside. Monsieur Ribot, the referee from France, are judging that from that kick there from number 1, Peter Lima was offside. It's interesting, John, to see that he's kicking to that touch all the time. The sun there in Yestin Harris's eyes, I think.
Yeah, I think both the sides have made sure that they've kicked the ball across to that side. It's a good tactic. That's the sunny side of the park, and anybody looking up into the sun has definitely got to have a problem.
Substitute, John Lawless there, taking the tap. In the final quarter now, Great Britain got to move this ball, got to play some catch-up football. They've got to take a few chances now, out among these backs. Sykes. Gaining a lot of ground, this Castleford prop. McAtee to Holroyd. To Horton. Rowley again. Strong little play. Great Britain edging nearer. The substitute there, Michael Wainwright, just. And it's the 6th tackle. The New Zealand defence there really counting those tackles. Henry Paul knew immediately it was the 6th tackle. He appealed to Monsieur Ribot.
Wasn't a bad option on the 6th tackle. He went for it. He's only been pulled up a yard short, so even though it's a handover, you've got to give the opposition the ball. They've got 99 yards to go, so it's a good option on the 6th tackle.
But New Zealand leading by 12 points. Can keep this ball amongst the forwards. Fatia Lowford again there. And an injury to Calametti. Substitute, David Lima. Just trying to keep his legs. And once again, down that left touchline. Picked up by Lee Penny. Plenty of experience, this Lee Penny with Wellington. And just look at the problems from that Great Britain line. 101 tackles by Great Britain to 88 by the junior Kiwis.
That would just tie in a little bit with the penalty count. They've given away a lot of penalties, and when you see a tackle count like that, you know it's got to happen somewhere. And when you give away penalties, you're just giving the opposition another 6 tackles.
Britain now on a sweeping movement. Back inside to Farrell. Farrell's the one man who can make the break. Oh, he's got support. He's got Holroyd with him. That was good play. These two lads, great experience with Leeds and Wigan. Top professionals, even though so young. Look to be the men to do it. Harris, we've got an overlap on the outside there. Lee Penny's into the corner. Yes, good try for Penny. The ball was moved out. Good pass there by Paul Stevens. And our Great Britain coming back. Good try there from Penny. Timed his run on the outside as a good full-back should. And it's 4 points.
I thought they might have scored on the play before that, Ray. It was a great break made down the middle of the field, and they were unlucky not to go in, but now they move the ball wide and hard quickly to the left. There's a fair bit of space out there, draws and passes really well, and gets in the corner. They've deserved that try. They've worked very hard for it.
Every time they've moved the ball out this Great Britain side, they've had that extra yard of pace. Perfect pass there from Paul Stevens, and in the corner for Lee Penny. But a difficult kick for Harris. Right out on the touchline. If anything, he has a slight breeze behind him. Drafted into the Wales full squad to play against these Kiwis a couple of weeks ago. Sat on the bench. Right-footed. No, just underneath that bar, so Great Britain trailing by 24 points to 16. An interesting 14 minutes now, John.
Yeah, even if they don't pick up the score, that gives them a lot of heart for the next time. A great ball here. Paul Stevens just draws and passes and gives him the space on the outside. Not particularly good play from the winger, but Lee Penny did everything he had to do and got in the corner.
Great Britain then with 14 minutes to retrieve this first test match here at Wembley. They have a game up in Cumbria in midweek against Bala Presidents 13, and then a second test at Wigan on Thursday night, the 21st of October. But a superb tour by these young Kiwis, helping to develop the talent in both countries. And I think we've probably seen a lot of players on this park who will grace it, I think, for years to come. Rowley again, attacked in half. McAtee to Sykes. Using this left side. McAtee again, probing, looking for the pass, trying to get it round. He does, he gets it to Farrell. Wainwright from Warrington, one of 5 Warrington players in this squad.
They've just had a really good run of possession too, right? The Great Britain side, they've played out quite a few, lots of 6 tackles, and they've got the reward. They've got their points, and they're back in the game.
It's all about possession, John, isn't it?
Well, they were just giving the New Zealand side too much early ball. They were giving away penalties early in the tackle count and dropping the ball early, and the way the possession just went against them, and then the Kiwis got some points, but they've controlled things well in the last 10 minutes, and they're back in the game.
New Zealand now. These two half-backs, Novau and Swan, making the play in midfield. And the kick, Harris just allowing it to go into touch. Of course, the opposite side has the head and ball. Scrums against the head. Now then, oh, good sidestep again, and This is the sort of play, really, that Great Britain are always capable of. It's that man Harris again. I wonder, John, would Iestyn Harris, number 5, be more dangerous in the centre? That's where he normally plays with Warrington.
Well, it's always hard when you get in a big game and they move you out of your normal position. You play in that position with club football. You feel comfortable, and it's a big ask to get somebody out of their position. But he showed enough today to to certainly be a contender for the centre position in the next test.
So Great Britain coming back into this game. Wainwright, the 5th tackle. Possibly the high kick here from Holroyd. It is. Now then, the sun in his eyes. Oh, he's missed it, but that's surely offside. Yes, knock on, offside. Good decision there from the French referee, Monsieur Ribot. 10 minutes left here now. Can Great Britain come back to this game? 24-16.
You can see the hand up in front of the face. He's almost given himself up there that he was making excuses while the ball was in the air. Maybe this is a tricky one and I can't catch it. But it's a great side to kick the ball over there. The players are under a lot of pressure.
It was interesting, John. Yesterday afternoon, Jonathan Davis, the Great Britain fullback, was on the pitch just looking at where this son was positioning at this time.
Yeah, I thought in the Welsh game, Jonathan Davis kicked the ball particularly well and found the Kiwi fullback out of position quite a lot.
Penny trying to beat his man, trying to beat Brown. Doesn't do, but gets the ball away to Flynn. Flynn driving for the post now. 8 points the difference. Farrell. Oh, good ball through Wainwright. Well held up there by Paul. This is good pressure now from Great Britain. Good test. McAtee to Harris. Good sidestep. Comes off that left foot very, very well. Oh, he's going for the corner, and he's in! Good try there by John Lawless. John Lawless from Halifax, the substitute. He could see there was a gap, and he had the confidence to take it. Great Britain then now really making a fight here now, and the crowd enjoying it. 24-20, 8 minutes remaining, the kick to come.
Very alert at dummy half. He's had a quick look down that blind side, noticed there's nobody over there. There's only one player out of position. The fullback was on his own. He had support to his left, could have gone either way, and didn't matter what was going to happen. He was going to score the try, and good thinking, good smart thinking, quick thinking, and he's in there. He deserved the try.
Now then, the goal. Very important. Graham Holroyd from Leeds. I've seen him scored a couple of tries for Leeds. I haven't seen him kick any goals as yet. Can he kick one for this academy side? Oh, it's a beauty! It's a beauty! That's the sort of goal from this 18 years old youngster, and the sort of kick that possibly now could inspire Great Britain Academy to a win in this first test. 7 minutes, 2 points difference. Good try, John, isn't it?
Yeah, it was very smart thinking. I mean, they just tried to hit down the short side and they didn't have any success, but it did thin the defenders out, and he was on the ball, he knew what he was doing, and 2-on-1 situation they had to score.
What a timely substitute. John Lawless from Halifax. And the crowd really enjoying this double header of a showpiece here at Wembley. The junior Kiwis and the Great Britain Academy under-19 sides. Harris again. Great Britain will want to get away from this line as quickly as possible. But I sense in this Great Britain side, John, that a confidence now coming there.
Well, they've certainly shown that they can win a test match against the Kiwi side, and And even if they don't get out of jail today, they'll come into the next test match with a lot of confidence, and they'll just go into the game knowing that they can win as long as they don't concede those early points.
If anywhere, John, I think the Kiwis have been a little weaker on the Yahtzee half-back position. Rowley and the try scorer there again, very, very quick around there.
Yeah, the edges of the ruck seem to be the place that, you know, there's a little bit of space there, and they're concentrating on the edge of the rucks.
That's a good kick. And that's a good catch by Henry Paul. He's got the wingman outside him. Slipping there, possibly still a little wet, damp from the overnight frost, under the shadow of this main stand. Alex Chan, substitute. Five minutes left. Great Britain trailing by 2 points. And it's interesting, John, as you said, the discipline has improved rapidly for Great Britain. I think that's been a big difference, hasn't it?
Certainly has. They've played out their 6 tackles. They haven't given away the silly penalties, and they've put themselves back in the game. There must be a lesson to be learned there somewhere.
That's a good kick. Penny's underneath it, but surely number 14 is offside. No, referee says play on, but Penny has the ball. He'll not be too bothered. Harris did well there. He knew his forwards were well in forward. He's got a terrific sidestep. It's this man Harris again. What a game this Warrington youngster's having, John.
Yeah, he's having a sensational game. He's certainly been the man of the match in the second half, and the suggestion you made earlier, get him into the centres, get him closer to the ball for the next test, is not a bad one.
Just 4 minutes left. 2 points needed by Great Britain. Sweeping that ball to Farrell. Farrell, good ball. He's lost it. Michael Wainwright, the force of the tackle, but it was good movement. That's the one. Surely the Kiwis now will want to just hold on to this ball, play out these 5 tackles, then put the ball deep and high down on that Great Britain line. That's what they're doing. Forwards now queuing up to take this ball. Fatialofa.
He's played very well, David Fatialofa. He's very big, but he's also agile. He can step up both feet. He's really been a handful.
Harris plays it to himself. Good run. Both teams, I think, beginning to tire a little bit now. Oh, that's a good tackle there by the loose forward Hanari from Otahuhu. Allroyd again, McAtee. Oh, it was snatched. Knock on. Could that be the chance gone?
Yeah, I think so, Ray. He was never going to catch that ball the way he attempted to tackle it. He just tried to snatch it down with one hand, and even the international players can't catch him like that. There's
2 minutes remaining. Kiwis ball. Surely they'll try to play out at least a minute and a half of this sequence of tackles. Good tackle there by Andrew Farrell. Chan taking it now just up the middle, using the first receiver. Byrne with the ball now to Lima, Danny Lima. Might be worth a drop goal, I think, for New Zealand. Paul. Goal, good run by this man, Paul. He's got the chance, he's got the try, and he's set up a victory, surely, for the Kiwis. Well, this captain for New Zealand, he set the example all the way through. His goals in the first half, And a crucial, surely match-winning try there in the closing minutes. A minute to go, 28-22 for the junior Kiwis. And that's what a captain's all about. Henry Paul.
Yeah, Henry Paul down the short side here. Takes Andy Farrell on. Like, I've got a good player. He carries the ball out in front with two hands and gives him plenty of options, puts the defence in two minds, and what a way for a captain to finish the game.
He's certainly got strength as well, John, hasn't he? Because he comes here and he holds off Scott Martin, then the pace, step inside, and pace to go round.
Very pleased about it too, wasn't he?
He certainly was, and if the captain's got to make a dramatic intervention, then a minute from time with a match-winning try is the time to do it.
They were just far the superior side in the first half. I thought the New Zealand side, they controlled the game and they virtually did what they wanted to do. And I think this second half has just given the Great Britain side, given the Great Britain boys a lot of heart, and they'll go into the next game knowing that they can do very well, and they'll be in with a chance of winning it.
So the kick from Paul, and it's a beauty, smack between the posts. So Henry Paul celebrates first Test win. There is the hooter. The junior Kiwis win by 30 points to 22, and a delight on that skipper's face. They keep their unbeaten record so far. Another 2 matches to go, one up there at Whitehaven, and a second Test at Wigan. They've worked hard. Disappointment for the Great Britain lads, but at least trailing 18-8 at half-time, many a side would have collapsed, but no. They stuck in there and played in a tremendous spirit. I think both nations can take heart at talent like this that's coming through. Andrew Farrell, number 13. Good spirit amongst those lads. And lots of Kiwis here to see this double header, the first time for these juniors ever at Wembley. We've had under 11s as curtain raisers to the Challenge Cup final, but what a treat for the fans for a game like this. And I think, Johnny, as you say, it augurs well for the second Test at Wigan. I think that will be very, very competitive.
Yeah, it'll be a great game. It'll be a game I'll certainly look forward to going and seeing. It's I think anybody that enjoys their rugby league should get along there and have a look at that game, because they throw the ball around the young Kiwi side, and I think the Great Britain side probably picked up a little bit of a tip there that they can do the same thing and score some points.
And John, congratulations to the coach there, Frank Endicott, I think from Christchurch. Well organised side.
Yeah, I've had a good look at Frank's coaching record, and he looks like he's one of the outstanding coaches in New Zealand, and somewhere down the track I'd say.
And we can see very, very even game. We only have to look at that possession there. 26 minutes for Great Britain, 28 for the junior Kiwis. That's how close it was. Just that last try from Henry Paul, the clincher.